Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about a bunch of news, starting with Mad Max. Are we going to get a prequel with the Fury Road? I know we're getting the Furiousa movie right now, but Mad Max will be coming back here soon, sooner than you might think. The Boys Season 4 trailer just dropped. I got my thoughts about that. Friday the 13th has an update, and a lot of us fans are not happy about it. Speed 3. Did Keanu Reeves just hint that we might get Speed 3? And Riddick 4 starts filming here soon, baby. Yes. Strangers Chapter 1 through 3. Are we getting all 3 movies this year? And also, are we going to get the super cut from the director? And also, we got an update with Wednesday Season 2 and a bunch of more news. So let's go.
I think a man only needs one thing in life. He just needs someone to love. If you can't give him that, you give him something to hope for. If you can't give him that, just give him something to do.
It's Iowa.
As we all know it's been 15 years since we've seen the last Friday the 13th movie. They threw a bunch of court battles, and they finally got done with it to the point where, you know, Victor Miller, the screenwriter from the first movie, and Sean Cunningham, the director of the first movie, they came out to the point where who can do what. And after all that was done, A24 and Peacock came together, and Brian Fuller, that made Hannibal, the TV series, which was pretty dope, they came up with this idea of having a TV series of a prequel of Jason Voorhees, and also him becoming Jason Voorhees. So you can get all of it in once. So we were all excited. You know, this was announced back in 2022, but according to Bloody Disgusting, it's not that they didn't pull the plug on it, but it seems like they're hitting pause on it because something happened to the point where they're not happy about it. I don't know if this is screenwriting, the story, the rights itself, because it's still kind of brand new, murky with what they can do, not do. So they could have maybe thought they were okay at some point, then realized, oh, we're not okay. So now we can't use that in the story. That may have been the main part of the story, which is why now we need to rethink how we're going to write this whole thing. But it really sucks. It's really disappointing because it's been 15 years and us Friday the 13th fans. And this is my second favorite franchise of all time. Halloween is number 1, but Friday the 13th is by far my second favorite. By far. I love this franchise. And I'm a huge fan of the remake. Love the remake. So yeah, disappointing. It just sounds like we're going to have to wait even longer for this. And it's disappointing because A24 is a great studio for this. To produce and distribute with Peacock. I love Peacock. They got Chucky through there, so it's great. Brian Fuller, again, fantastic man, came to that Hannibal TV series. So, man, I hope they don't screw this up. That's all I gotta say about that. All right, so the Godzilla latest movie, Godzilla vs. Kong: The New Empire, has finally got to the point where it is the best Godzilla movie ever filmed, ever made. It's made the most money ever. So far, it has $547 million worldwide. That's pretty impressive. The only thing it has not surpassed so far, like in the MonsterVerse, is Kong Skull Island with $561 million. So, I mean, you're looking at $14 million. So, I have a good feeling they might stick it around where it's going to get to the point where it's going to be the best movie profitable in the MonsterVerse universe. And the cool thing about this, it had only $135 million budget. You double that with the marketing, so you look at $270 just to break even. Let's just say $300 on the safe side. It just made $250 million profit, and that's just that without merchandise, streaming, and all that stuff. So Godzilla, we're going to see a lot more Godzilla and Kong movies. Okay. I'm sure a lot of you guys are a fan of the original movie Speed with Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. And the second one, I know a lot of people are not fans of that. I don't mind watching it, but the more I do watch it, the older I get, the more I realize, yeah, this is a pretty bad movie. But when I was a kid, I enjoyed it. But according to Variety, Keanu Reeves thinks we'd freaking knock it out of the park with Speed 3 if Sandra Bullock comes back. And Sandra Bullock, she's the same way. She even says Keanu Reeves and him, they need to act one more time before they die. I don't know where they're going to go with the scenario with Speed 3. I don't know if this is going to be a revenge thing, like, the villain for this first movie if it's like his son or his grandson seeking revenge. But man, I absolutely love the first Speed movie. Everything about it, just the soundtrack, the cinematography. The soundtrack is what I remember mostly. But man, being on the bus, it's kind of like the Die Hard version of being on the bus. But would we get a Speed 3 is the question. I would absolutely love it with Keanu Reeves these days. I mean, The Matrix was a failure, but him and John Wick, that might, that if that's the same director coming back, from his John Wick franchise to direct the Speed movie, I would absolutely love to watch it. Riddick 4 is filming starting this August, which means we're most likely going to get it at the end of this year, but there's a good chance we get it early 2025. So the third one, okay, so back up a second. The Riddick movie, this is the fourth one. Pitch Black was the first one, which everyone knows is the best one by far in the franchise. Just absolute banger. Second one, The Chronic of the Reddits. That one, they put way too much money into it. It bombed in the box office to the point where they didn't want to touch it. But Vin Diesel, when he made that cameo in Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift at the very end.
I won it from my friend Han a few years ago.
I didn't know he was into American Muscle.
He was when he was rolling with me.
They said, if you do this cameo, we'll give you the rights for Riddick, which he totally accepted, and thank God, because the third one isn't a banger at all, but it was actually enjoyable, entertaining, where I've seen it multiple times. It's rewatchable. Yet there's some parts where it's like, come on, let's go, but I don't mind it. But we're coming up with this fourth one, and I'm excited to where they're going. Supposedly he's going back to his home planet. The fact that he's going back to his homeland is very interesting to see where we go with this. Because if we go back, because I'm pretty sure the second one has to be his homeland. I could be wrong, that might be another planet, but this is a franchise where if you get the right franchise, the right story, the right setting, and the budget is not that bad, you can make a profit off this. But, we got a lot of unknowns and questions about this franchise, and it's just do or die right now. All right, so we almost have The Strangers coming out here this month and the 17th, so it's like 10 more days, and I'm excited for Chapter 1. I know Chapter 2, they said it's going to come out sometime this fall. Not sure exactly the date yet, but they're also saying the third movie will be coming out this year. So you're having 3 movies coming out in 6 months, which is dope. That's cool. I love that. I'm excited. Bring it on. But the thing is, what I'm also cool is the director wants to do this 4-hour cut with all 3 movies in one huge thing. And I would absolutely love that. Because imagine watching like Halloween 4, 5, and 6 all in one movie, one big cuts. Or it's kind of like Halloween 1 and 2 and H2O mixed. Who cares about Resurrection? But that would be a nice. David Gordon Green trilogy, prime example. Add in the Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends into one big cut. They need to start doing that stuff because I would absolutely love watching that stuff. And it looks like The Strangers, we might get that, but that'd be like after it's all done with the theaters and it's on physical media, which I hope physical media is still around. According to the playlist, Shang-Chi 2 is still confirmed and is still happening. I know there's a lot of questions like, where is this movie? Because it's one of those movies, in my opinion, in the Marvel MCU universe where it's very underrated. It's like the Eternals. I think they're definitely in the top 10 of the whole MCU ranked movies. Not in the top 5, but definitely worth in the top 10 worth talking about. And Shang-Chi 2, I know it's been talked about, we're having a sequel, and nothing. But according to the playlist, we are still going to have a sequel, and it's still happening despite all the canceled films, with Disney and all that stuff. But it looks like we're still going to get it. It might take a while, but it's still in the early stages of development. MaxXxine coming out this summer, July 5th, I think is when it's coming out. Yeah, July 5th, which is the third movie in the X trilogy, if you want to say, because, we have X, Pearl, and now MaxXxine. The cool thing about what this article says in the playlist is that the director, Ty West, which is, the creator of all 3 movies, he's even hinting at possible 4th movie, which would become a franchise. He quotes, "I do have one idea that plays into these movies that could maybe happen. I don't know if it will happen next. It might be. We'll see." And he also adds, "I'll say that if there's more to be done in this X franchise, it's certainly not what people are expecting it to be. So he's pretty much saying that how every single movie in this trilogy is different. He already has an idea for the fourth movie. And the fact that he's thinking that far ahead, well, you can't end this on 3 movies. Even like with before I read this article, I had a feeling that this is going to be a franchise where it ain't going to be 3 movies, done. I have a feeling it's going to continue onto some point of something. I don't know what it was, spin-off, something, but I had a feeling that this is going to continue on. If we get a 4th movie, I'm game. Season 2 for Wednesday, we have an update about right now. The fact is, the update is, they are making it as we speak. They're currently filming it right now, which is great. Because Jenna Ortega, she's a busy girl. It's such that we're not going to get her in any Scream movie anytime soon. But I'm kind of surprised they waited. I'm kind of surprised they're filming it right now. I figured this was something that they already started, but no. They just started filming it, and if it's right now, that means we're not going to get till 2025. Yeah, so with them filming it right now, it looks like they're on track to be a 2025 release date. It'd be really nice if we got this around Halloween, to be honest, but I don't think we're gonna get that quick of a turnaround. So it looks like we're getting a 2025 release date since they are filming it right now. We are getting another Rocky movie. Well, sort of a Rocky movie, but this one is actually really interesting to the point where I love this idea. As long as Sylvester Stallone is cool with this, because I know he has not been cool with MGM, the main executive people, because they've took the Rocky universe, the one that Sylvester Stallone, he created this. He wrote the first one. He is Rocky, obviously, and he directed 2, 3, and 4, and Balboa. He helped out with create the spinoff 1, 2, and he was not involved with 3, because he's to the point right now where he feels like he's getting ripped off from the people. They're taking his franchise, his universe, and they're just running with it. So this movie is pretty much going to be about Sylvester Stallone when he's a young aspiring actor, before Rocky, just not barely making it, doing this job, that job, barely making it. And he comes up with a script for Rocky, and he tries to develop Rocky. And that is really the basis of what the movie is going to be about. And I really love the idea of this. It's something that's really new. It goes back into the Rocky, franchise, the universe, but in a different way. You look at it from a different point of view. Like, again, I really hope that Sylvester Stallone is okay with this, because that would really suck if he got screwed over again for this. But I'm excited for this because it doesn't look like we might get another Rocky movie. We know we're gonna get Creed 4 sometime already. It's already confirmed. They even talk about another spinoff with Drago. In Creed 2, the guy that he fought. But yeah, I'm really excited about this, and I'm excited to see where this goes, and hopefully it turns out to be something really good. I had no idea that this was going to be even a TV series, but Amazon Prime must have the rights for Blade Runner, because the Blade Runner 2049 that came out a couple years ago with Harrison Ford and Ryan Gosling, well, they're having a sequel, but not a movie. It's going to be a TV series, and it's actually called Blade Runner 2099. It's going to be a TV series, and the cool thing about this is Michelle Yeoh is going to be joining the world, and she is a very known person. She's in a lot of movies. Most recently, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and also I think of like Mulan, and I think she might have been Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Yep. But yeah, this is going to be a TV series of the Blade Runner 2049, the one with Ryan Gosling, but it's a sequel called Blade Runner 2099. I'm not sure when it's coming out, but the fact that they just announced her as one of the main leads, I'm assuming the filming will be sometime this year, and this will be a 2025, I'm assuming, release date, because Blade Runner is going to be a lot of side effects. I'll be completely honest, I have not seen the original Blade Runner. I have not. It's one of those movies that I just have not got around. I really enjoyed this 2049, though, with Ryan Gosling. Ridley Scott is one of my favorite directors. I'm really shocked to have not seen the original Blade Runner, but everyone has those movies where you just have not seen yet. But I'm excited. The way that 2049 looked, I love that. So if it stays along those lines, I'm going to watch this. 28 years later was confirmed not that long ago, which is going to be the third movie in the trilogy of the 28 days, 28 months later franchise universe, however you want to look at it. The zombie, the Danny Boyle, that started with Cillian Murphy as kind of like his breakout role. But about a month ago, 2 months ago, they came out with the third movie 28 years later. And now we have someone that's joining the cast. and that's Jack O'Connell. And that's according to the playlist. He is going to be starring in the role. And we know Cillian Murphy will be back as like an executive producer, but we're still in question of, is he going to be the main lead? Is he even going to be in the movie? It looks like he is, but right now we're still not yet confirmed. But with Jack O'Connell, it is confirmed. He is going to be part of this movie. But the fact that they're starting to cast the people, which is good, really the main thing I want to talk about is the fact that they're getting the people on cast, they're getting it going, they're getting the motion started, so it's going in the right direction. But yes, 28 years later is starting to get their casting going. So there's a report out that the Mad Max, we might get a prequel to the Fury Road with the actual Max character. Because, we know in like a week or two, we got Furiosa that comes out on the 24th. That's a prequel to Furiosa. But this is a whole new story of Mad Max getting his own prequel to Fury Road, with Tom Hardy. And the only reason why people are talking about this is because the director said, like, look, we looked into what his life was leading up to Fury Road to the point where, we had to think about his story leading up to, so we know where to go from there. And people really took that and ran with it to the point where they think there's actually a movie in development, and there's not. It's just the fact that they talked about, guys, look, we had to look into the prequel storyline just so we know where his character was when Fury Road started, which is, I get it. I love the idea of a prequel. But we're not having a prequel, guys. We're just not. At least nothing is confirmed. Not at all. It's a great way to go. Great idea. But as of right now, guys, there's nothing confirmed about a Mad Max prequel. It's just the fact that they know where to go if they want to do it. But maybe down the road, if there's enough people talking about it and want it, it very much could happen. Speaking of Mad Max and Furiosa, with the new Furiosa prequel coming out on the 24th, my question is, are we going to get a cameo of Mad Max at the end of the movie or end credit type deal? And why I say that, because he would be alive, he'd be young, and really, to be honest, who knows where he was at in his lifetime, in his early stage, like teenage stage or early 20s, because I don't know who's older between Mad Max and Furiosa, but if Mad Max is older, it's very possible he could have some kind of end credit, but I would love to see a cameo, but I don't know. If you like the Percy Jackson season on Disney Plus, a brand new one, I have not seen it yet, but I don't mind not the first two, but the two movies that came out a couple years ago. But if you really like this series, the season one, you're gonna have to wait till about 2026 for season two, because it looks like filming isn't gonna be till mid 2025, early 2025, and with the CGI and all that stuff, you might be very lucky if you can get a Christmas 2025 release date, but it looks like 2026 is going to get your Percy Jackson season 2. All right, Marvel is doing a new thing where they're downscaling, which thank God, because I'm not a superhero fan. I'll watch a few movies, I don't mind it, but they've just been throwing it so much out there at the point where they need to scale back, and they came out and said that they're going to do 2 movies a year and 2 TV shows a year, but they might every once in a while do 3 movies a year, and that would be like more along the Avengers, because they got to do 5 and 6, and I would say that would be the year where they come out with 3 movies. But the fact that they're downscaling it to what it was like phase 1 and 2, I think it's the correct way to do it, because they were overdoing it way so much, but they're down to 2 movies and 2 TV shows each year, and very, very smart, because I think they're realizing that DC, since they're going to reboot, I have a feeling DC is going to start taking over, the superhero, and they're going to overlap Marvel someday, but Marvel, they need to figure something out, and this is a great start. All right, that is it for today's show. Like, subscribe, and all that good stuff if you like this good content. I do this about every other day. I love my movie stuff, and I'll talk about news all day. But yeah, that is it for today, and hope you guys have a good day.